Hello and welcome to Teach Me in 10. Today we'll be discussing how comprehensive all-in-one R&D platforms can support modern drug discovery and development. New drug modalities offer tremendous potential for treating diseases, but they present significant challenges in development, manufacturing, and delivery. How can researchers streamline data collection and analysis to address these challenges? Fortunately, we have Chris Stumpf with us today, the Director for Drug Discovery and Informatics Solutions at Revvity Signals. With over 20 years' experience in the analytical instrumentation and informatics industry, Chris is the perfect person to talk us through how a powerful, unified platform is transforming the way that researchers can document and analyze their data. So, Revvity Signals developed Signals One to streamline software workflows across the design, make, test, decide R&D lifecycle. What inspired Revvity Signals to do this?
Well, thank you for the question, Kate. A key reason that we developed the end-to-end solution that spans design, make, test, decide is to meet the evolving needs of scientists. It's widely acknowledged that new drug modalities are harder to represent, they're harder to make, and they're harder to deliver. And this means researchers are addressing complex science and don't want to jump from like 6, 8 different software products to get their job done. So they're asking for an integrated solution that spans the entire workflow, helping them to deal with the complexity of science while simplifying the software aspect.
Makes perfect sense. So, what is one of the biggest obstacles preventing researchers from easily implementing the design, make, test, decide R&D lifecycle?
Yeah, so I'd say there are three primary challenges. So based on discussions with researchers, so first, researchers are currently dealing with multiple software products, which means their data and workflows are manual and siloed. Second, because they're dealing with multiple software products, there's limited opportunity for collaboration at a time when the complexity of the science is demanding greater collaboration between the disciplines. And then finally, the data is complex. It's very complex to interpret, and using multiple software packages tends to delay team-based insights that help kind of advance their research through the design, make, test, decide R&D lifecycle.
Yeah, and you'd want to move that as fast as possible. So,
Exactly.
what are some of the collaboration challenges facing researchers as they develop drug candidates while following the design, make, test, decide lifecycle?
Yes. Yeah. So developing new drug modalities is as I alluded to, a multidisciplinary endeavor. And as I suggested in a previous question, this means that medicinal chemists and molecular biologists, assay scientists, protein engineers, all kinds of like scientific disciplines need to work together like never before. And unfortunately, when it comes to software, each discipline usually has its favorite software solution. So this tends to hinder, data sharing between groups because data is isolated in those individual solutions. So these data silos also inhibit informal team reviews and recommendations amongst the collaborators.
So, what is Revvity Signals doing to address these challenges and obstacles so that pharma and biotech can better drive innovation?
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm happy to say is that Revvity Signals had the foresight to invest early in kind of this internet-based, cloud-based SaaS technology for our Signals notebook. So that was our premier cloud-based electronic laboratory notebook. So investing early in this technology enabled us to rewrite our software from the ground up. And this gave us the ability to not only build software more rapidly, but also to deploy it more rapidly. And that means that we can incorporate the latest science in our software rapidly. And we've built this SaaS-based Revvity Signals. We built our solution based on the SaaS-based Revvity Signals technology platform to deliver our Signals One. And Signals One is an AI enhanced solution that puts all your data all in one. And this means we can deliver research depth for traditional and new drug modalities, while at the same time we can foster unified breadth of collaboration and multidisciplinary work. There's simply nothing like having a discovery solution where researchers can collaborate together while gaining both depth and breadth for their science in a single solution.
That sounds ideal. And of course, a key capability of Signals One is the advanced analytics and visualization. But
Yes.
researchers can find analytics tools sometimes quite challenging to learn and to use. So, can you describe how Revvity Signals is making this easier for researchers?
Yeah, so that's a really great question, and a lot of like prospective customers will ask that, like, and I think there's really three ways that we're addressing it, and first is with the adoption of the SaaS technology that I alluded to earlier. This allows us to incorporate the latest big tech usability capabilities to make the interface intuitive, responsive, and polished. And then second, specifically for advanced analytics and visualization, we built workflows and templates around the natively integrated Spotfire for things like ADME, in vitro, in vivo assays, as well as structure activity relationship analyses. And then third, for users who don't need that comprehensive power of Spotfire, we're developing analytics processing workflows directly in Signals One that enable users to handle common visualization and analytics use cases, such as in vitro curve fitting, in vivo data analysis, and group comparison. And with these built-in analytics, we aim to keep simple analytics simple, and all these usability enhancements are designed to give researchers more time to think about their science versus fighting with the data and the software.
And the more time to think about the science, the better, and the more streamlined
Exactly.
drug discovery can
Hmm.
become.
Exactly.
And that is a very common concern of researchers is to
Hmm.
have enough time to focus on the science. So can you speak to how Revvity Signals is leveraging things like artificial intelligence and machine learning for augmented intelligence so that researchers can focus even more on innovation?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, and we get that question a lot more nowadays with the interest in AI machine learning in the last couple of years, due to like ChatGPT. And so, as I mentioned in the previous question regarding analytics, we're always striving to enhance the user experience with AI and machine learning. Our strategy has three parts. So, first, we're building in generative AI and large language models to streamline workflows while ensuring that the data remains secure within the environment. So that helps protect intellectual property. And so examples of this would be semantic search and experimental summarization assistance. And then the second part is integrating the science-based AI models into our software. So some examples of this are digital lab assistants, antibody developability dashboards, and chemical reaction recommendations. And finally, fundamentally, enhancing user experience with AI isn't really possible without AI ready data. So this is kind of a foundational aspect. And so we've always had an eye towards making sure the data is unified and modeled for advanced analytics and visualization, but that is becoming even more important now with AI. So we're doing work to optimize data preparation for AI integration. An example of this is ensuring that our assay repository, where our experimental test results are kept in Signals One, is well defined and ontologically aware so that researchers can, kind of discover unknown relationships and accelerate their insights.
Sounds perfect, really.
Mhm.
So, what would you say to researchers from big organizations that may have some of these capabilities in their organization's best of breed solutions?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So, first, let me define what best of breed is. So, in large organizations with many resources, they have the ability to implement, one solution for an electronic laboratory notebook, another for analytics, and yet another as a data lake, for example. And they usually choose the best solution for each of these functions and call it best of breed. So, with that question out of the way, or with that definition out of the way, rather, let me kind of focus on the question. So, the real beauty of all the work that we've done with harmonizing data for use of analytics and AI, plus our extensive application programming interface library for interfacing with instruments and data systems and workflows and scripting, means that Signals One can serve as an ideal solution to unify, contextualize, and harmonize data and use the APIs to transfer that harmonized result data into a company's chosen data system. So in summary, Signals One is not only suitable for smaller organizations that use the all-in-one capabilities, but larger organizations can also use the data harmonization and integration capabilities to implement their best-of-breed philosophy.
So, it's ideal for every size of organization, really.
Exactly, exactly.
And just to finish off with, what would you say makes Revvity Signals really stand out in the market?
I think it's 2 points. So I feel that Revvity Signal stands out in the marketplace because of our people. Our team, with decades of experience in scientific applications like ChemDraw, the gold standard in chemical communication, which is also celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, and Signals Notebook, our premier electronic laboratory notebook. Our team is delivered astounding scientific software over the years and remains at the forefront of that innovation. And many of our team are also scientists themselves, so they've developed knowledge and passion for science, and they love pushing the envelope of what's possible. And then the second point is as I alluded to earlier, we made an early investment in internet-based, cloud-based, and SaaS technologies that allow us to rebuild our software from the ground up. And this foresight enabled us to develop and deploy software rapidly so that we can keep pace with the latest innovations in science. For example, with 10 releases a year in Signals One, we can rapidly incorporate user input to support the latest science and techniques. And these two ingredients, our people and our technology, enable us to have a strong collaborative relationship with our customers and provide them with timely, high quality software.
Sounds like you are the guys to go to. Thank you so much for your time today, Chris, and thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you very much, Kate.
This episode is kindly brought to you by Revvity Signals software. Revvity Signals offers one of the most comprehensive platforms of scientific software in the world. The powerful informatics solutions are used across a spectrum of industries, including pharma and biotech, chemicals and materials, and food science. From the internationally recognized flagship ChemDraw to the Signals Research Platform and the exclusive Spotfire partnership that brings scientific data and analytics to visual life, no scientific company offers a wider range and more powerful platform of scientific solutions than Revvity Signals software. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Teach Me in 10. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on more bite-sized science insights.